ain't have a demo, we ain't have a name, but we got a record contract and the advance. So, you know, boom, like my righteous name, like I said, is Son Born. So my government name, Ramakan, means king. So I took king and put it with son. So now I got King Son, that's me. But King Son Moody D wasn't going to fly. So I'm like, once we got the contract, I'm in the Zenas and we go in the little clubs buying Moet, little $50, $100 bottles of Moet. So everybody used to be like, they go Son Moet, Son Moet. So I was like, hold up. Son D Moet. So then I said, okay, rather than Moody D, you should call yourself D Moet. So, and D Moet was from Teaneck, New Jersey. So his brother like, you messing with this thug. He just came home from jail. Now we trying to change your name. So I'm like, look, man, it sound fly to me. It sound like Run DMC. King Son D Moet. Let's run with it. So we ran with it. Hence the name King Son D Moet. So now we got a name. So now we need a demo. So we took the Art of Noise, Moments in Love. And, you know, I played that. I said, when I was locked up, I always heard this song and I always wanted to sing to it, but I ain't no singer. You know, that Moments in Love, that shit is nice like that. So then while I'm playing it, dude start taking the DX drum machine and he start making a beat underneath. So now we got the demo. So I just started freestyling to a girl. Hey, love, you're the girl that I adore. Every time you go away, I want you more and more. So then that shit worked. So now Cutmaster DC is producing it. Like, you know, now we going to see him in Staten Island and he's doing the shit tight. And he's like, yo, we can't use that because they're going to sue us. So he played the melody over, gave it that New Jack kick. Like he had that, I don't know if Teddy Riley had it first before DC, but if you listen to Brooklyn's in the House and all that, he had that little New Jack swing kick to it. So he popped off that Hey Love. And even when we was recording it, I'm thinking he's sabotaging my shit because while I'm rhyming, he's telling me, yo, you're doing it wrong. So I go to rhyme again, yo, you're doing it wrong. So I'm like, yo, man, I wrote the song. How you telling me? He said, look, son, I'm telling you, you doing this shit wrong. So then I tried to fuck the song up. So I went, hey, love, you're the girl that I adore. I just did it like with no feeling. And he ain't stopping me. And he let me go all the way through the whole song. Then he said, that's what I'm talking about. So I told my brother, Prince Creative, shout out to the God, Prince. I said, yo, he trying to sabotage our shit, God. He really trying to dead my shit. But after he had mixed it, bro, I mean, that Hey Love shit, now it's like, fuck Rakim, no disrespect. Fuck Rakim, that Hey Love shit sound hot right now. You know what I mean? So now, from there, they hit Chuck Chill Out with it, and I had another song called Mythological Rapper. And I was kind of, you know, no disrespect, they my brothers and my peers now, like Melly Mel, Cool Mo D, like those are all my idols. So once I got on, I figured, let me try to get at them because this hip hop shit is about battling. Not in a disrespectful way, but I was getting at them like all the strong MCs, because if I can get at them and I'll be recognized as an MC. Even when I made Hey Love, you know, big 6'7" ass nigga, talk about hey love. Nah, man, that shit is corny. So I need some rough shit. So I made Mythological Rapper. So Chuck Chill Out playing Mythological Rapper. And on Saturday, Red Alert playing Hey Love. So I got my A side, my B side playing. And from there, it's like I had to grow into that role of being an MC. So, you know, now I'm King Son D Moet, my shit playing in the clubs, my shit playing in Latin quarters. So now, Karis One, Scott LaRock, they my mans now. You feel me? Latifah, Queen Latifah was just coming up, you know what I mean? But she wasn't Latifah like she is now. And, but you know, now I'm seeing Latifah and, you know, Jazzy Jeff, Fresh Prince. Will Smith was always dope. Even now, I'm going to give it to you. Will Smith, we call him Fresh Prince, though. We always call him Prince. We ain't never called him Will Smith. That Will Smith, his name didn't start being, well, you know what I mean. They didn't start referring to him as Will Smith till he had the TV show, in which he even popped that shit off lovely. So, you know, now I'm King's son, and, you know, it's good, and now I'm amongst the MCs. So I remember one of my first shows was at Capitol Center in DC. So we used to doing little project, you know, little project recs, because that's most of the shows like they would book you for. Like when Treacherous 3 come to town, it's in the project rec center, or it's in the high school rec center, or some shit like that. So I'm like, damn, God, they flew us to DC. Limousine picked us up from the airport. Stopped by, did the little radio interview, radio drop. Yeah, we're gonna be at Capitol Center tonight. So while we driving to the venue, I'm looking for a little project center. I'm like, God, I don't see no projects, man. And I was even riding in the front seat. I let the guards rock in the back because I wasn't really flossy like that. You know, I'm riding in the front seat. The limousine driver was a female, but I'm kicking it with her. So I'm like, yo, God, I don't see no project. I don't see no Capitol Center. And the chick, I said, she driving through. I think she taking a shortcut. So I'm like, yo, you taking a shortcut? She said, nah, man, that's Capitol Center. And Capitol Center is like a big ass stadium. I'm like, we only bought 2 records. We only got 2 singles, like we got an A side and B side, 2 records. So we pulling into the stadium, everybody up top, they screaming, King Son, King Son. So we pull up in the thing and we doing a show with Heavy D, Salt and Pepper. I think Bismarck was there. It was a mega lineup. You know what I mean? Our dressing room was mad small, but Heavy D and Bismarck was like, yo, man, come in here with us, man. You know, they ain't really know us like that, but yo, you want a bus now, man. This what it is. So we in there, we drinking and we chilling. So, you know, I ain't never really rocked no stadium before. So I sent the guard out there. I sent Prince Creative out there. Yo, Cree, you gonna go introduce me? He like, come on, man. Yo, we need a motherfucker gonna introduce me, God. It's just me, Prince Creative, and my DJ, Demo Wet. So Prince go out there. He said he was shook, like he seen all the whole stadium is filled. It's like some Summer Jam shit. So God went out there and he was like, yo, y'all want to see my brother King Son? Y'all want to see my brother King Son? Y'all like that Hey Love shit? And the whole stadium like, and I'm back behind the curtain. Now, you know, I had to hit that little Wild Irish Rose. See, we used to drink that. Not, you know, it was cheap, but we used to drink that because that gave you that liquid courage to pop off. So when I went out there, you know what my show at the time was, we only had 2 records. So normally he'd cut a break beat and I freestyle. So when he cut the break beat, I would freestyle to Dougie Fresh, Play It Only at Night with the Phantasm beat. So I would rock that, freestyle, and then we would go into Mythological, then we go into Hey Love, and then we'd be out. But we successfully rocked that shit. So now it's like, now I'm feeling more celebed out. And then at this point, Professor X was my manager from X Clan. But his name is Lumumba Carson. His father is Sonny Carson, black activist. So now Lumumba was my manager. That was the first cat to give us the little pages, little beepers. Yo, y'all gonna need these, man. And you know, so we got the little beepers. Now we feeling fly and motherfuckers is beeping us and shit. And so it wasn't like he was managing myself. He was managing Positive K. Shout out to the guy, Positive Knowledge. And we was hanging with Milk and Giz. Light was really just coming up. She wasn't really out, but she was just coming up. She was their little sister. Shout out to Light. So we had like a little Latin Quarters family with Scott LaRock, Melly Mel, Red Alert, Daddy-O from Stetson Sonic, like all these cats, we're peers with them now, but these were cats, we were fans of them. So now, you know, we got Scott LaRock before he passed away. We all used to meet at the Quarters and, you know, put all of our input on, you know, how KRS-One record sound and Boom Bang and how King Son shit sound. And they were actually called the Hip Hop Alliance, where Scott LaRock did have a vision to like unify and sort of make a union for hip hop. But I guess they kind of passed away with the brother Scott LaRock. You know what I mean? Shout out to him. I'm gonna be shouting out a lot of people that done passed away and a lot of people that had great influence on my life and career, as well as the careers and lives of a lot of other entertainers you see out there and what have you. So, like, something happened where somebody had mentioned to me that Professor X I was getting more for a show. They said, yo, you did that Capitol Center show, right? So I was like, yeah, how much you got? I said, 1,500, because that was a lot. You paid me 1,500 to do some shit we was doing in jail or on the street. That's money. We get 15 for that. He said, nah, man, that show was for 5,000. And I was like, nah, man. So he said, yo, and it was Russell who was telling me this. So Russell said, come by Rush Artists tomorrow. I'm going to put you on game. So when Russell put me on game, he called a booking agent, Carol Lewis, Noby Walters in them at the time, William Morris Agency. They said, yeah, that King's Son went for 5,000. And he said, yo, he got you. And of the 15, he took the 20 off. You feel me? So I was like, it's cool, Lumumba, you my dude, everything. So I stopped dealing with him, and Russell said, yo, you need to come over here, and everybody was there, Run DMC, Slick Rick, Eric B. and Rakim, Will Smith, Public Enemy, everybody was there. So now I'm on the Rush Artist team, and Russell was a good dude. So we used to go through Rush, and you see everybody. You'd walk up in there, everybody you see up in there. If they wasn't at Def Jam, then they was at Rush. And Leo Cohen was new at the time. He was up and coming, trying to be, or I guess become who he is now. And shout out to Leo and my man Big D, Carl Jordan. And, like the thing about Russell, I give him love because a lot of his cats that went to jail and came home, he gave them jobs. So now I'm thinking, I'm Big King's son, whatever. So I'm talking to my man Carl Jordan, Big D. I'm talking to him slick, like, yo, Big D, man, yo. He's like, yo, look, man, let me tell you something. I ain't no motherfucking record dude, so I'm straight out the motherfucking penitentiary, man. Me and you, if we got to get into it, we can get into it on some real thug shit, not gangster shit. But I got you, son. I got your back, but just don't think I'm one of these niggas. So I was like, I'm cool. I got you, Big D. So Big D looked out. He was my road manager, either him or Lior. And, just being with Russell put us up on Burt Padell, who was the accountant for the Stars. Rest in peace, and shout out to Burt and Scott Padell, because they were, they taught us how to manage our money. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people out there might know I'm in a little situation right now. I'm going through a little financial situation down in VA. It ain't nothing that I got jerked or I mismanaged money or I ain't know how to maneuver money. I caught a case. It required me getting a lawyer. It required me getting bailed out. Then I had to spend, thousands on that. But I got the case dismissed and bow. So now I found myself only with like about 1,500, 2,000, where I was staying in Kentucky. They wasn't renewing my lease. So, I'm like, you know what? Let me just go somewhere where I can record, because out in Kentucky, ain't no studios out there. Ain't no celebrity out there where you could fuck around, bump into somebody. Yo, that's my man. Let's do this podcast, or let's rock off, bow. So I came down to VA. So as I came down to VA, I thought I could see a couple of my cats that I knew from back in the day when I lived out here, but they incarcerated. And a couple of cats I do know from Patterson out here, they really can't hold me down because they live with their girls and their little daughters and kids, and you ain't gonna have no big ass dude. So, I've been doing the little Motel 6, and when I can't pay the hotel, sleeping in the car. And like I said, I ain't above all that. Everybody got to struggle. I come from humble beginnings, and I come from struggle. And, it's my wisdom. My girl is somewhere. She's like, look, man, you know and touch a lot of people. So let me put this GoFundMe out. Diabetes. So it's like I got to start doing the insulin thing or something soon. I may even have to have my leg or part of my foot amputated. You know what I mean? But, I'm strong. So back to what I was saying with Burt Padell. Burt taught us how to handle money. Everybody that know me, everybody that know, they know I done had cribs. They know I lived in the same spot 20 years in the Bronx, pushing BMs, pushing Benzes, pushing Lexuses and all that. You know, we go up and down. You know what I mean? We used to hustle. Like in my day, they didn't pay us like they paying these new cats to say what they saying. You know what I mean? They control what you put out and what you say. You lucky if you got a $50,000, you would get like $100,000 budget, and you got to do your album in that budget, and whatever's left over, that's your advance. So some of us would take our little advance. Some of us had people that was in the street. We go get something, you know, we'll flip it, let it flip, you know what I mean? And that's how we was living. So you thinking we got rap money, you know, even shows wasn't popping like now. You know what I mean? So we had to deal with that. So, but Bert Padell taught us a lot, man. If you was, and he had Shaq, he had Michael Jackson, Russell, and Bert was cool, man. And he was so mega and so big. That's why Biggie say, I stash more cash than Bert Padell, ex-hell. He talking about Bert, because everybody in the game, Puff, you fucking with Bert Padell. Like if Bert was alive, I wouldn't be in this situation I'm in. I call Bert, and he's an accountant and your business manager. He tell you, he set up your whole business structure. I got stocks and shit in my name. I didn't put them, every time artists come out, you get like a portfolio with big bonds, with shares that you could sell and people could invest in you as an artist or as a conglomerate, as a business. So, you know, Bert put us up on, he wouldn't let you, if you was going to spend, buy some goofy shit, I don't think you should do that, man. And he was so large. But if you call him, like I used to call Bert on Russell. If I go down to Def Jam when it was in the Universal building and you got a security, they ain't gonna let you in, so somebody upstairs gotta let you in. So I called Leor, he ain't answering. I called Russell, he ain't answering. So I called Bert's office. Yo, Bert, yeah, man, I'm trying to get upstairs to see Russell and them. So Bert will say, hold on. Next thing you know, security like writing out my pass. Go upstairs. So Bert was like the father that I would call on Russell or Leo, like the older brothers, like, yo, they ain't letting me in. You know what I mean? So, like I said, shout out to Bert. He was a good dude and rest in peace. But he taught all of us how to maneuver and, you know, how to handle our money.
Right.
And so, like I said, my situation, I didn't get jerked like, you know, like Robert Hill. You know, like I say, he's like a father. And, you know, thing was, he went to sign me to MCA. And I don't know if he had Eric B with him or how that went down, but Eric B somehow went back and got Rakim the deal. But Eric B and Rakim was already on Zakia 4th and Broadway. They even mentioned it in Paid in Full. So Rob went to get me the King's Son, Hey Love, MCA. So it's like, okay, well, we got King's Son, the Rakim sound alike, when we could have the real Rakim. So then that's how Rakim and them, they went and got that deal. So Robert Hill thought that I would be in good hands if he signed me with Profile, because Run DMC was big. And anywhere they sell a record or anywhere they go to do a show, that I would be able to curtail that. But it didn't really happen like that. You know what I mean? Profile, and I'm going to say this, Profile with Poor Righteous Teachers, Dana Dane, Special Ed, myself, Run DMC, Profile was a whack-ass label. Dana Dane stayed platinum, Run DMC stayed platinum, Special Ed went gold. When my joint went gold, we got congratulated from overseas, and they wanted to shoot a video for the Hey Love joint. Professor X, you know, was making the calls, and once he checked that, he called Profile and told him, and Profile was like, nah, he ain't go gold. He didn't go gold. So then when we checked back again, the cats who wanted to do the video and who called us, their number changed and they had shut down. Now, see, the thing about Profile at the time, they had their own distribution called Land Speed over in London. So they could press up their own shit and tell you what they pressed up. You don't know. They could have moved 200,000 units, but I wouldn't know because their distribution was in-house. And then besides that, the dude Blank Robin. I ain't gonna slander him because I'm cool. I'm in a different place. I don't drink. I don't smoke weed. So I'm on some cool stuff right now. But you know, dude told me, man, this ain't no welfare office. You know what I mean? I had to pay for my brother J.R. Gums had to pay for my video on the club tip because Profile wasn't gonna pay for it. When I had to take my album cover pictures, they sent a white lady with me with a credit card up to Harlem to shop and buy the clothes and then return them. And I'm up in Harlem with the guards. I'm in Black Harlem with this older white lady with a credit card. Oh, what do you want? Like, damn, God, what you doing? Who is that? Nah, that's the label, blah, blah, blah. Ain't no stylist, ain't nothing popping. So Profile was a real whack-ass label. You know what I mean? And so I didn't get jerked from Zakiya like Robert Hill is still to this day like my pop. Shout out to my little brother Kareem Smith, K Nitty. He passed, Robert Hill's son. He passed away. You know, he's allergic to peanuts, and you know he ate some Rocky Road ice cream. And everybody, people out there that know K Nitty and Uptown, Upper West Side, 96, 97th Street, they know K Nitty. He was a real fly little dude, man. And he passed away. And you feel me?
Yeah. Let me ask you, what were the details to your Profile deal? Was it more than the 2 albums that you did? What was the details to that Profile deal?
Nah, actually what it was just a distribution deal, right? Where, you know, I'm on Zakiya, and, you know, and so, you know, Zakiya got distributed by Profile. Get the ass straight. So, you know, with that, Robert Hill's partner, you know, Mr. Bloodrock, he had reality records with Dougie Fresh on it for a little minute, and had like DJ Cheese and all of them. He did the show Request Line. DJ, please, I'm on the request line. So it was told to me that Jerry Bloodrock had borrowed a certain amount of money from Profile. And within the terms of that agreement, Profile didn't have to pay Zakiya anything until Jerry Bloodrock paid that money back. And it was in the 10s, 20s of thousands. So I could have went gold. Profile ain't got to give me a dime. They ain't got to give Robert Hill a dime till they paid back what dude got. You feel me? So I just never got paid. And good.
Let me ask you, the New Music Seminar, did this happen before the Profile deal or after the Profile deal?
This was before the Profile deal. Because I ain't know about the seminar. Cutmaster DC put me into that. And
after the Profile deal?
Like, huh? I'm sorry. Yeah, it was before the Profile deal. I mean, Hey Love, my record came out in May of '87. The seminar was in July of '87. I ain't get on Profile till like '88.
Okay, can you take us back to the New Music Seminar?
Yeah, that's another Wild Irish Rose episode. But again, like Cutmaster DC, he said, yo, you know, it's a new music seminar coming up. So I'm like, you know, what is that? He said, well, cats come from all over the world to display their music. And, you know, as far as hip hop goes, it's an MC battle and a DJ battle. Right? So I'm like, yeah. So he's like, yeah, it's in the Marriott Marquis Hotel, downtown Square. And he said, yo, it's going to be live. So I said, all right, how much it costs? He said, nah, you already taken care of. So, you know, Robert Hill had the room. He got the room in the Marriott for us, paid for the registration, passes, all access to everything for me, DC, D Moet, and my man Prince, the God Prince. So now we there, and it's like, you know, we registered. So it's time for us to battle, you know what I mean? So you know how the seminar works. It's like, okay, this guy versus this guy, and whoever wins, you know, competes, goes to the next level or the next round. So, you know, I told the God Prince, man, I said, yo, I'm scared, God. I ain't with this rap shit. So the God ran to the liquor store and said, I got you, God. We need Rosie. So he went and got the little pint of Wild Irish Rose on 42nd Street. I swigged that shit, and he let me go. And I was just smashing everybody because I was going off the top. So now I just smashed everybody to the point like Steady B was there, rest in peace. Or Steady B, I think he incarcerated, peace to the God. Cool C, rest in peace. You know, everybody was in the seminar. But the main, I think Busy B, Chief Rocker Busy B won it first. Then the second year, Grandmaster Caz won it. So on this third year, Melly Mel was supposed to win because they had a crew called the Giants of Hip Hop. Plus, besides that, you know, they the giants in our life. We fans of you know, Melly Mel and Grandmaster Caz and them. So they didn't expect the King's son. So now I'm battling with Mel and Caz, and I'm going off the top. So what I did that made it so fly, the judges was Lady B from Philly Radio, Nelson George from Billboard, Dougie Fresh, Kumo D, Africa Bambaataa, Red Alert, and there was another DJ. It was somebody else. There was 7 DJs.
Mr. Magic.
No, I don't think it was Mr. Magic. It wasn't him.
Okay.
It was, damn, I forget who it was. But whoever it was, when I was battling with Mel and Caz and the shit was on the line, I freestyled. And I went and said every name, every judge's name in the rhyme while I was spitting. And remember, you only got like a minute and a half, like 90 seconds. So then when I got to Dougie, Doug had the record out, nothing. So when I got to Doug, I was like, hey, Dougie, yo, what's up with him, Dougie? This nigga ain't really doing nothing. Nothing. He ain't really doing nothing. And the whole shit went crazy, like, ah. So now it's like, you know, I scored a 70. And Mel and Caz scored like a 68 or 69. So rather than me, they saying I won, and Mel and Caz got to break the tie for second, they made all 3 of us go over again. So when we all 3 went over again, and, you know, I'm still freestyling, but now I'm just, you know, bow, bow. And so they saying the first run up, like the second place or the third place dude, I think they said was Caz. So once they said that I beat Caz, because Mel was rhyming and Mel got the forceful, but he wasn't really battling us. Mel was coming educated like the Martin Luther King, and Mel was his dominance and his voice would smash us. But I know on the battle side, it was really me and Caz. You know, Caz was like, nigga, this ain't the street, it's WrestleMania. And Caz was going in battle style. And so once they said, like, Caz is second place, then I was like, yeah, I know I'm going to beat Mel. So then they said, and the next runner-up is King's son. And them motherfuckers like, boo, boo. And they start yelling, King's son, King's son. So they're like, and the winner is Melly Mel. Yeah, Melly Mel. So I'm clapping this shit. And so they was like, yo, King's son, how you feel about that, man? Like, how you feel about, you know, everybody seemed to think like you won, whatever. I said, man, look, let me tell you one thing. I'm up here on the stage. I said, everybody here is nice. But I'm up on the stage battling 2 of my idols, 2 brothers that I idolize and I worship. I said, that's good enough for me. And I said, if Mel or Caz taking that belt back to the Bronx, it's still going home with me because I live in the Bronx. And that's what it is. You know what I mean? And everybody, you know, I was humble. I wasn't like, nah, I got jerked or whatever. So then from there, you know, like I said, Mel and Caz were supporting us. You know what I mean? So I went from being a fan, and now they considering me one of their own. Yo, King Son, come on. So we hit Latin quarters after that. You know, we chilling, and I'm walking down, and I'm like, damn, I just paused for a minute. I'm like, damn, that's Melly Mel, man. That's the message. That's Grandmaster Caz, Cold Crush, man. And I'm walking with these motherfuckers. These niggas know me, man. And it just felt good. And that's when I was coming into being who I am. Like, everything was gradually becoming King's son. So now that put me in at that seminar. Now, there was a video circulating that Ice-T, I met Ice-T. Now, we knew Ice-T, but we always thought like he was a pimp and a player. So, you know, Ice-T had did this video in the hallway, and he was like, yo, you know, you had 3 dope brothers, especially, you know, they were like gymnasts, so you got to score and everything. But Ice was saying, like, they shouldn't have made all of us go. Like, you know, he said the brother King's son scored, the highest, so he should have been, you know, and he was like, you know, I know Mel and Cash, but, you know, I think bow. So from Ice, coming from Ice-T, even at that time, was solidifying me as an MC. You feel me? So now it's popping. So now Ice-T is my man. We cool. So the next seminar, now I'm King's son. So that's when we introduced Lord Finesse to it. So Lord Finesse was down with it. And my man Andre the Giant from Showbiz and AG. Like, and so now I rented the limousine with like 7 wheels. Like it had 6 wheels on each side and one in the back, had a jacuzzi. You know what I mean? And Andre the Giant, the guy had the Bentley. He rented the Bentley. So we just rolled around the seminar. We really ain't care about it after we was in it and after we participated. It was just the thing to go to every July. When the seminar come, we book our room in the hotel, politic with people. Even Hammer came at me when he was big. And Hammer said, King son, you don't even remember when I met you. I was like, nah, bro, I would have recalled if I met you. He said, yo, you met me at the New Music Seminar, man. And it's like, he said, I played my stuff for you and you said you liked it. You don't think it's like a New York style, but it's an LA style. But you told me, don't worry about if New York feel it or not. You know what I mean? That hip hop, if your shit is hot, somebody gonna feel it and somebody gonna blow it up.